A very good evening and many thanks for joining us on the LTN special feature. Now today we're going to feature the National Environmental Management Authority, or Nema if you like it, and we want to know the deep understanding on what Nema does in the country. And to help us with this, we have Mamo, who is the Director General of Nema. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you. My official name is Mamo.
Mamo.
Thank you.
Now, who is Mr. Mamo?
Good. Mamo is a Kenyan, an environmentalist, and I've been working with Nema for the last 17 years. I grew through the ranks up to the position of Director General. For our work, Nema is a regulator. We have basically two mandates. One is supervision and coordination of all environmental issues in our country. And our second mandate, we are the principal instrument of government when it comes to implementation of all environmental policies in our country. And I think we've been doing that pretty well as an authority. We have challenges, but we are doing quite well as an authority. Thank you.
Because Lolwe TV, we diverse deep into the local communities so that the local Mwananchi will want to know what Nema does in the country. First of all, when was Nema formed?
Nema was established by an act of parliament called Environmental Management and Coordination Act of 1999, which was revised also in 2015. And this is the act that established Nema, 2nd July 2002. And we opened offices in all the 47 counties currently. So we interact with local communities. We have a number of departments. We have a department for environmental education that educate public on the importance of environment. We have department of research and planning that looks at the issues of data for the environment and also participate in the production of national environment action plans. We also have the legal department that check if you really destroy environment and then you are arrested, then they're the ones to prosecute some of the cases through the ODPP. Then we also have the department of other service department like Department of Finance and Administration. We also have corporate communications and others. So as an authority, as I said, we are representing all the 47 counties. We have county directors of environment, and we have environmental inspectors in all those counties. I had forgotten a big department called Department of Compliance and Enforcement. That is the engine of the authority. They ensure that they enforce the provisions of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act of 1999. They're the ones to ensure that you comply with the provisions and also enforce.
Speaking about enforcing, I want to talk about the plastic ban that Nema, you guys authorized in the year 2017. How would you speak about the plastic ban up to now?
Thank you for that question. I think as a country we've done very well in terms of implementation of the plastic ban, which came into force in 2017, August 2017.
Yes.
Before the ban, as a country, we had a lot of challenges. The ban was informed by a scientific data. If you look at the issue of plastics, generally, we have lots of challenges with plastics. Plastics block our drainage system. That is why you see flooding in areas like South Sea. The same can also be ingested and digested by livestock. And in the rumen of livestock, it blocks the rumen of a cow or any other animal, even a wildlife, and also marine pollution. If you look at plastics, plastics are not really the problem per se, because we use plastic in our daily life. We use plastic in hospitals, pharmaceutical companies. We do not want to demonize plastic. But how we use the plastic is the problem, because plastic is versatile, it can be used everywhere. But the challenge is, how do you use the plastic? Most of us really dispose these plastics all over, litter our environment, and all this end up in our aquatic environment, like our marine ecosystem. So we found out that plastic was a problem, so we banned the carrier bags, them flimsy bags that you normally have in markets and supermarkets. Before the ban, we used to churn out 100 million carrier bags from our supermarket chains, 100 billion bags. All these bags normally end up in our environment. So as an authority, we found out that the plastics are the issue. So, and the government made decision to ban these plastics. We got the goodwill from the Kenyans. I think we had the support from the Kenyans in the ban because they felt plastic was a problem. And I can say 3-4 years down the line, we are at 90% of compliance from the Kenyans. But the challenge has been most of these plastics are also coming from our porous borders across our neighboring countries into our country. Yeah.
And are there any measures that Nema takes in order for the plastics not to come there?
Absolutely, absolutely. We've worked with a number of other enforcement government agencies, like customs at the border post, KRA. We also work closely with the anti-counterfeit agency. So there is a multi-agency team at the border post that ensure no plastics gets into our country. We have also started working now with the county government through the COG, and as Nema, we've gazetted 81 environmental inspectors for the county government so that they'll be able to enforce the ban at the county level, because waste management, as you know, is a devolved function, so they should be taking part in this. Yeah.
Let's reverse and talk about the express road that is being constructed in Nairobi. That's from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport all the way through to James Gishuru. As Nema, what's the plan in hand? Because when it comes to environment and the types of trees that were along the pathways.
Thank you. I think when the expressway was developed, was designed, it was a legal requirement that we subject the project to what we call environmental and social impact assessment. And the project proponent, Kenya, did the report. It was submitted. And in the report, they had clearly identified impacts, potential impacts of this project on the environment. In addition to the potential impacts, they had proposed appropriate mitigation measures, including how they will handle the trees along the highway. So when we review these reports, we ensure that those mitigation measures can be properly implemented. And also, they produce what we call Environmental Management and Monitoring Plan, EMPP, so that as they undertake the project, they'll be able to monitor the road and give us response on how best they will mitigate any impact on the environment. Yeah.
How about the preservation of parks?
You mean national parks?
The national parks, yes.
Yes. In addition to national parks, I think, national parks are protected areas. In addition to national parks, we have green spaces like Uhuru Park and these other spaces. So they have to be considered when you are doing this project, because we do not allow, as an authority, for the road to pass through the national park or green spaces. Yep.
All right. When when it comes to compliance, who is eligible for a Nema certificate?
In terms of a project proponent, normally applies to Nema for license. And Nema will review the report that you present, and the report is normally done by not Nema staff, but Nema registered experts. These are experts registered with Nema, and they've done necessary, or they have necessary qualification to do these reports. So once we review the reports, then we'll be able to license. But we also do license environmental experts. Other than giving license for the project, we license environmental experts. They apply online, and their criteria for the experts, before we license the experts, they have to really have the necessary qualifications, knowledge, and training required for the job, or for the expert, from being expert. Yeah.
Maybe as we almost concluding the interview, you know, like with us, like Lolwe TV, the local Mwananchi, the Wamamas down there in Mashinani, they're the ones who normally, like a great percentage of them watch Lolwe TV.
Yes.
So maybe like in a simplified way, the functionality of Nema to them in the society, what impact does it create?
Now, for the common mwananchi, you know, our constitution, people call it green constitution. It has given us a right to live in a clean, healthy and secure environment. And this is for the first time that we had put this in our constitution. To the common mwananchi, you have that right. But these rights comes with responsibility. It is the responsibility of each and every mwananchi to ensure that you enhance the quality of environment. For example, you can clean your house, but you're not expected just to throw the litters out. You are supposed to manage your waste at the household level. For example, just having a small reused bins. Just put the waste in the bin instead of throwing it out. As a country, unfortunately, we have this throwaway culture. Everybody wants to throw things out. Even from a moving matatu, you throw things out and expect, what is the Nema doing? But who is the generator? You are the generator of the waste. You should take responsibility for that waste. You don't expect the Nema to go to the villages to pick the waste. We are regulator. We will sensitize, we will educate the public, but it is the responsibility of each and every citizen of this country to take responsibility for your waste, because hii ni mazingira yetu, uhai wetu na ni wajibu wetu.
And then in a way, Bwana DG, I don't know whether you know or you are aware of this, we still have plastic bags in the country.
I agree with you.
How do they find their way in Kenya?
When I started, I told you our borders are porous. When we banned the plastic, I think most of those machines got itself to neighboring countries, or people moved it to neighboring countries. And from there, through the buses or other means of transport, gets into our cities. But currently, we are also working with the Directorate of Criminal Investigation. We are doing what we call intelligence-based enforcement. We do intelligence, then follow it up with enforcement. Yeah.
All right. The 4 major steps that are involved
in environmental assessments.
Yes.
For example, when you have a project, the first thing you need to do is to get a consultant. You know, Nema registered expert as a consultant, so that a consultant undertakes the report for you. And we will also ask if it's a big project, we need to look at the TOR, the terms of reference for this project, so that as an authority, we approve this TOR. Then the consultant will get out there, look at the area, provide the necessary documentation that is required, like for example, the ownership of the land, and prepares a comprehensive environment and social impact assessment report. Then the same is submitted to Nema. What Nema does, Nema will form a technical committee to look at this report, review the report, and give feedback. Whether at times we can even tell you to improve on the report, or we approve the report with some conditions. And when we give you the license, we attach or we annex what we call conditions for this license. It's not a blanket check that you go and start doing work. You have to abide by certain specific conditions so that you look at the issue of sustainable development for this project. Thank you.
I want to finish this interview without mentioning the pollution in Lake Victoria.
Yeah.
Now, late last year, Nema singled out several companies that discharge affluents into the lake among them were government agencies. Now, so far so good. What's your standing? Right.
I think we had a multi-agency team from all government enforcement agencies and regulators, including Water Resource Authority. We went to Kisumu. We looked at or did assessment of all those industries that are discharging untreated waste into Lake Victoria. And we had given what we call restoration orders to a number of those companies. So restoration order meaning they need to comply with a number of issues before we open those facilities, because we had earlier issued a closure order for some of them. So this restoration order, once you are issued with one, you will be able to look at the issues that the Nema wants you to comply with. In some industries, we also help them to comply under a program we call compliance promotion. We help them comply. We don't just come to the industry and close them down. But for the Kisumu case, we had identified more than 10 companies that are discharging, and we issued appropriate enforcement or rather corrective orders. And I'm happy to know that as we speak now, a number of them have complied, and we are good to go in terms of pollution in the lake. Yes.
Any projects that Nema is doing under it?
Development projects?
Development projects, maybe in the regions, particularly in Nyanza areas?
We have adaptation fund project. This is supported by Adaptation Board. Nema is the national implementing entity. So we have projects like building what we call the embankments along the lake, the stabilization of what is it called, the lake embankments. We are also developing or rather establishing structures we call green points. Green points are eco buildings that Nema and other development partners propose for the purpose of showcasing best environmental practices in the regions. Like, for example, energy efficiency, recycling of water, use of local materials. These are the centers that we are developing in our country, countrywide. Yeah.
Maybe as we concluding your last your remarks, maybe as we closing, maybe to our viewers.
I think the viewers, this is our environment. I think all of us need to take responsibility, individual and collective responsibility, to look our environment, after our environment, because it's not Nema's role only. Other than being a regulator, we need to get the support of the local communities, because you are the ones who live in these communities. And if you participate in policing your environment, you'll be able to inform Nema that these are the issues that we need to address. We are not represented in all the sub-counties. We are represented in the counties, but not to the local community level. If we get reports, incidences of environmental issues at the local level, then as an authority we will move with speed and ensure that we address those issues. So kwa Kiswahili, hii ni mazingira yetu, ni uhai wetu na ni wajibu wetu.
Asante sana Bwana DG for your time, and we really appreciate.
Asante sana.
And that marks the end of LTN special features. I bet now you've known the functionality of Nema. Until next time, my name is Sharon.